Hello, neighbor. I'm Robert Burns, and welcome once again to another edition of Sound Off Louisiana. And I'm so thrilled to have Mr. Billy Broussard as our guest. He also is the cousin of Governor Jeff Landry. And it's so nice to have someone sitting across this table because I'd had to do a number of them on my own, and I much prefer to have someone. Billy is very popular. His viewership is quite high. I can attest to that in having looked at the video views in the past. But most everyone will have seen the feature that we just put out with regard to Governor Jeff Landry having placed Jared Caruso Riecke on the State Police Commission. And there was a focus in that feature on the fact that, hey, the ball game is not over. He has to be confirmed by the Senate. Now, that's a recent development because, as Dr. Walter Kimbrough pointed out, he's the former president of Dillard University. He basically said, look, we're not equipped to do this. Furthermore, we aren't doing it. We nominate whoever the governor tells us we're going to nominate. And so he got together with Senator Fields, and in December of 2022, there was a constitutional amendment passed. Senator Fields, then Louisiana Senator Fields, now Congressman Fields, sponsored it. And it calls for the Senate to confirm a state police commission appointee. Now, that amendment dealt exclusively with the state police commission, and I want to emphasize it passed by a margin of 72 to 28. I voted for it. Mr. Broussard voted for it. Everybody I know of voted for it. And I think that's a resounding message that we want the Senate to take a look at these appointments. If that had been in place in the past, we might have avoided a few embarrassing episodes. I'm not going to go into the details. Everybody who's followed this blog knows of them. But when I first published this feature, Mr. Broussard made an initial comment. I'm going to read it off at this time, and that's what spurred him to say, I'd really like to come do a sound off. And this is his comment. I'm going to read it. It says, I have never met a more honest man in Louisiana state government than Kevin Davis. I refuse to believe the governor was made aware of all of the details of this matter. It is no secret that Kevin Davis is not afraid to call it what it is, no matter who's involved in the fraud, waste, and abuse or fabrication of evidence by ... You can fill in the blank. Governor Jeff Landry and our President Trump, Doge, Elon Musk, need good men like Kevin Davis on their team. Now, we're going to have Mr. Broussard speak in just a moment about his comment and elaborate, but I want to take just a moment to say I am incredibly honored that a former parish president would follow a Sound Off Louisiana feature and follow the instructions to a T about expressing interest in the position. I am so thrilled to know that someone of his caliber took the time to look at the Sound Off feature and took the time to apply. Mr. Broussard, obviously it goes without saying, we're going to let you start speaking now and take as long as you'd like, say as much as you'd like. Obviously you are clearly of the opinion that former parish president and GOSEP director Kevin Davis would have made an outstanding Louisiana State Police Commissioner. Am I correct?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, I have no dealings with Riecke. I have no knowledge of Riecke personally, but when it comes down to Kevin Davis, I must say I've had dealings with him in the past. That is how I actually met Kevin Davis.
Okay.
There was documents that were produced that his signature was on it. So Kevin Davis, because of a senator, I went to my senator at the time, Senator Fred Mills, and said, look at these documents, the facts here, and look at what's been being produced by GOSAP. So he said, well, let's reach out to Kevin Davis, see if he'd be willing to come meet with us, and we can go over this. So Senator Mills reached out to him. Kevin Davis said, no problem. He drove from Baton Rouge, came to Breaux Bridge. We sat down, we sat at the table, and Kevin Davis was like, show me what you got. I started showing him some documents, showing him the facts. He agreed. He said, yep, you're right about this. Okay. I said, okay, well, if you agree with all this, why would you produce this document?
Okay.
So then he looks at the document and reads it, and right away he says, okay, that is my signature on this document. He said, but you have to understand, I'm the director of GOSAP. A lot of documents that are out there with my signature on doesn't mean that I know all the details of what's in the document. He said, I did not draft this document.
Okay.
That particular document or those documents, he said, look, right away, he said, look, Ben Plyer, the attorney, legal counsel for GOSAP, he produced this document.
Okay.
I doubt seriously the governor has nowhere near the details of what special you have in your sound off about Riecke or other matters surrounding this appointment.
So it's your contention that you really don't believe that Governor Jeff Landry was fully apprised of all of the relevant facts concerning this matter prior to making the decision to, as it turns out, reappoint Jared Riecke. Is that would be your
Exactly, and the whole point about the fact that the constitutional amendment that was done when in December 2022.
So it's very, very recent.
It's very recent. On top of that, when you're given the authority, I mean, that's a strong authority that the people have given that senator. I mean, I think he said 72%.
72 to 28.
To be able to give him that line of authority, it also comes with some responsibility.
Right.
I mean, of course, the governor's running during the campaign. I mean, you have different groups. It could be the state police
Troopers Association
saying, hey, this is our guy. We want him on there. Hey, fine, no problem. We're going to see what we can do. We'll put him on there. But the authority that the people have given that senator, and it comes with a responsibility. The senator from that area is going to know that individual more than a governor that's from the other side of the state. So bottom line, that senator, it's his responsibility, you ask me, to do a deep dive and do his research, or for people to reach out to that particular senator to give them their concerns before he's just appointed. That constitutional amendment that there was in 2022, interesting too, for that professor, that president of a college, that apparently he was the one he went to Cleo Fields.
Yes.
He was the one that was giving it to the last go round when it was time to appoint, just so happens to be Riecke. Okay,
right.
That college is responsible for.
Dillard is responsible for the first congressional district.
Apparently they weren't happy with that process. So they went.
Yeah, that's an understatement from the email I got from former President Kimbrough. Yes, you're
from
correct.
What you told me and what I've read, bottom line, so he goes to Cleo Fields and said, we got to do something about this.
We got to get out of this business, was his exact words.
Okay, so bottom line, Cleo Fields says, okay, let's let the people decide. And bottom line, that's the decision they came back with because, so it just so happens the same one, they weren't happy with the first process of how Riecke got in that position. It just so happens it was Riecke. It could have been another person.
Could have been anybody. He just said, this is my...
Riecke. It just so happens he just in that particular...
He basically said, I'm running a university. This is not what we do, nor do I have the time, energy, or resources to vet this sort of thing.
Exactly. So they put that authority, they gave that authority.
They being the taxpayers.
Yes, the people we have given that authority to a senator.
So, and the voters, they didn't just do this lightly.
No, they didn't. And the voters didn't give this power and authority to a senator like this for nothing.
I would have totally concurred.
I mean, bottom line, it's like, hey, we want you to do a deep dive. But just like us, he's depending on that constitutional amendment, going, hey, look, okay, fine, put his name in the hat. Let the senator do his job.
Right. And in this case,
people gave that authority to the senator. And again, not for nothing. So bottom line, let him do the deep dive, let him do the research, let him deal with the constituents in the area. Bottom line, someone like you puts it out there that, hey, this is an appointment. It gives them time. I mean, think about a senator. He's
going to be closer.
He's closer. He's read the local news. He's kept up with the local powers to be. He's going to know. He's going to
have more integral knowledge of the situation that may involve that nominee.
Exactly, and I believe it's a great thing that's done because even a governor, after even he says, oh yeah, this is the guy we're going to put, and after a while, say someone like you puts some articles out there or something's thrown in his lap, and he looks at these articles and goes, oh my God, this is So, but he can take a deep breath and go, whew. Well, at least the senator is going to hopefully vet all this, and go through all this and get to the bottom of it. And if he sees that there's enough, weigh it out and say, no, I cannot confirm this guy.
Right.
That's why my interest in this particular matter, even though I'm from the other,
You're in Jeff Landry, the heart of Jeff Landry territory.
Yeah, I live in St. Martin Parish.
Again, you're his cousin, so. So let's just kind of do a little real quick 1 minute summation here. Number one, you are of the firm belief that the governor was not aware of all of the circumstances that existed surrounding this appointment. Is that a correct and factual statement?
Right.
Number two, you want to emphasize that this ball game is not over. That, as I understood you correctly earlier, you said we, the voters, did not give these senators this responsibility and authority for nothing.
Right.
You know, because if the senator was just going to rubber stamp every appointment, we could go pick up some bum from under the interstate to do that. Mm-hmm. So we're asking of the Senate, and especially in this situation, and that senator, the Jared Riecke senator, is District 11 Senator Patrick McMath. We have published his contact information previously on the last feature. We're going to republish it, and also we're going to put it on the screen. We're putting it on the screen even as I'm speaking now. So if you want to just hit the pause button on your video, that will be Senator Patrick McMath. I mean,
right.
that's...
I have to say this. If anybody's to really blame, if they're not happy after the fact, oh, I can't believe Riecke got this position with, you know, for whatever the reasons they have heartburn about. You can't blame that.
You really believe the governor didn't have all the facts here?
You cannot blame the governor for that. You have to blame yourself for not getting with that senator and or that senator. So, you know, you can't. It's one of those.
You just can't. Now that the Senate has that responsibility, thanks to Cleo Fields and Walter Kimbrough, citizens can no longer say, "Well, this is all Governor Landry's fault." Every bit of it.
Yeah, no,
there's more. There's more players involved. This ball game is not over. Okay, so if this had been an appointment only 2 years ago, it would have been over, because without that amendment, we don't have this added ability.
Right.
And if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying let's not waste it. The voters gave this for a reason. It's upon anybody in the first district, or more specifically in St. Tammany Parish, to say, look, I really don't believe this is the wisest choice here. You're the governor's cousin, so you probably know him better than just about anybody.
So in that this particular situation, the way the Senate has the authority through that amendment, it really helps the governor also. It really takes a monkey off of his back when maybe someone or a group or association, whoever's pressuring him so hard, he goes, okay, we'll put, but hey, that's the senator's responsibility. So this particular matter, I hands down believe if someone's confirmed in a matter like this, they can't blame the governor. They have to blame
themselves and the respective senator, who in this case would be Senate District 11's Patrick McMath.
Right, and you need to, if that's the matter, if you have heartburn about it, is send letters, send emails.
Send letters, so that's why we're putting the contact information. Emails are nice because they're convenient. I would recommend a full-blown letter. I think everybody can look forward to our next feature. But Billy, I really want to thank you for coming over and transitioning us from the prior feature to the next feature. So you have a safe trip back to Breaux Bridge. But folks, we look forward to seeing you for the next Sound Off Louisiana feature. And thank you so much for your dedication. We'll see you again real soon.